Jamie Dornan announced that he will leave empty-handed to be with Dakota Johnson. Jamie Dornan sat in his office. In front of him was a blank sheet of paper with only one line he had just written in handwriting. "I will leave everything to Amelia and the children." The pen fell from his hand. He leaned his head back in his chair, his eyes closed. His chest heaved as if he had just run through a storm. No one forced him to write those lines. There was no lawyer sitting across from him. There was no brutal divorce. There was only one truth he could no longer deny. He loved Dakota, and he could no longer pretend. A life lived twice. Jamie and Dakota, that name used to be a symbol of attraction, mystery and scandal. After the 50 Shades series, audiences constantly speculated and fabricated about their relationship. But behind the screen, things were much more complicated. Jamie loved Dakota, that was the truth. But he had also loved Amelia, his wife, his partner in his darkest moments. They had 3 children together. A family, a house full of laughter. But his heart was no longer in it. Jamie tried. He tried to cut off all contact with Dakota, avoid her at events, turn down offers from directors. But the void in his heart grew, like a rift that could not be mended. Then one night in June, when he ran into Dakota again at a Venice premiere, everything collapsed. There she stood, in the crowd, no elaborate makeup, no need for lighting to stand out, just being herself. Jamie knew, "I can't live without this woman anymore." A last conversation. Jamie's kitchen was quiet. Amelia was pouring tea. He leaned against the counter, his hands shaking slightly. "You've changed," she said first, not meeting his eyes. "I know. I'm sorry," Jamie whispered. "It's Dakota, right?" Silence. That was the answer. Amelia didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just said one sentence that made him collapse: "Don't ever come back if you choose to leave." Jamie sat down, placing the paper on the table. It was a simple legal document, written in his own hand. All assets, stocks, ownership of the house, bank accounts, leave them to Amelia and the 3 children. He didn't need a lawyer. No need to negotiate. "I didn't leave because I wanted to avoid responsibility," Jamie said. "I left to be true to my heart. But everything I have is yours and the children." Amelia looked at him for a long time, then nodded. "Go, then. But go like a man." Dakota again. July. Tuscany, Italy. Dakota Johnson was taking photos for an art project when she saw Jamie walk into the small gallery where she worked. She froze. He didn't say a word. He just showed her an old photo, a picture of them backstage at 50 Shades Freed. She was smiling. He was looking at her. "I left everything," Jamie said. "I have nothing but my name, my passport, and my heart that beats for you." Dakota choked. "I'm crazy, maybe, but I'd rather be crazy with love than live my whole life sane with an empty heart." World outside the box. All of Hollywood exploded when the news broke that Jamie Dornan had left everything behind for Dakota Johnson. Leaving behind his wife and children, betrayal, romantic or selfish, but Jamie didn't give any interviews. Dakota didn't either. They lived in seclusion in a small coastal town in Portugal. Every morning, they got up early to go to the market, had breakfast at the local bakery, and in the afternoon they wrote a script together for an independent film, a film with no name, no big investment, no red carpet. Just them and their love. Once, when asked by a local journalist, "How does it feel to lose everything?" Jamie replied, "I didn't lose anything. I just gave it to people who needed it more." As for love, I never had it, until I met Dakota. No end. 3 years later, a small arts magazine published an exclusive interview with Jamie Dornan. In it, he shared, I left empty-handed, yes. But I also left with a full heart. I know some people will never forgive me. And I understand. But I choose to live authentically, because I can't look at my children and teach him to live right if I'm living wrong myself. Amelia was a wonderful wife, a great mother. I didn't leave because she lacked anything. I left because I lacked courage, until I couldn't be brave anymore. Dakota didn't take everything from me. She showed me that I have nothing without true love. Unsent letters. One day, Dakota found a small wooden box in Jamie's drawer, containing letters he had written but never sent to Amelia, to the children, and to himself. Son, I'm not a hero. I'm just a man who chose love over fear. Amelia, you are the best thing that ever happened to me, and that's the best thing that ever happened to me. Dakota, if one day you wake up and don't want to stay, go. But don't forget that I once gave up the world to hold your hand. Dakota closed the box. She didn't need to read any further. She knew he had nothing left to prove. He had chosen her, not with words, but with the rest of his life.